All right, you know how you might need a little refresh after a winter? Well, guess what? The roofing on your house feels the exact same way. So luckily, we're here with Bryce and Jonathan from Bighorn Roofing. You're our roofing experts. We're so happy you're here with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Well, why is springtime in particular a really great opportunity to be proactive about your house, your roofing, all of the above?
Yeah, so really with how harsh Utah winters can be, we can get pretty big temperature swings, we can get a lot of snow or not a lot of snow. Coming out of the wintertime, checking out your roof in the springtime is going to give you an opportunity to check your shingles, check different seals, check your flashing, and see if you've had any significant damage that's been caused by that winter temperature swing and get ahead of it before it becomes a bigger problem.
And what would you say is the one most important thing that homeowners don't realize about their roofs? Because it's true, without your roof, you really don't have much of a house to hang out underneath. So if there's one thing in particular, what would it be?
So the one thing that I think homeowners don't fully understand is that your roof is more than just a shingle, right? Mm-hmm. So your roof is going to be an entire system. It's going to have ventilation, it's going to have flashing components, and then it's going to have underlayments. And if any one of those things is not installed properly or begins to have an issue, it can cause premature failure of the entire system.
Okay, so you've really got to make sure all the parts are in place in order for it to work as well as it should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now this can feel a little overwhelming to someone like me that doesn't know too much about your roof and the process of how that all comes together. So what's one way that homeowners can feel more confident about starting this whole process if they think, okay, I've really got to do something, I don't know if it's going to last another season?
Yeah, for sure. For most Utah homeowners, it is overwhelming when they're looking at their roof. The best thing that Utah homeowners can do is preventative maintenance or getting ahead of it. A thorough inspection by a professional to get up there and really look at things and tell you what's going on. That way it's kind of education first. They understand where they are at the life of their roof, and they can plan and make better decisions.
It's so true. It's almost like starting sometimes is the hardest part, but once you have someone explain all the pieces to you, it can feel a lot less overwhelming. Yes. And you had kind of mentioned ventilation, but why specifically attic ventilation? Why is that really important here in Utah?
So with your attic ventilation, that is what's going to maintain even, consistent temperatures in your attic. The issues that we have in Utah is, in the wintertime where you have hot air rising out of your house, getting into that attic space, and it's making contact with cold temperatures. You can get a lot of condensation buildup that can occur, and that can cause dry rot and different issues inside of the system. The ventilation allows that moisture to escape so it doesn't build up. In the summertime, you kind of have a different issue where the attic space can get so hot that it could actually cause delamination of the plywood, and then it can also start to dry the shingle out. And when the shingle loses its oil, that's when it starts to fail and crack.
Yeah, so. And you understand this so well. The little visual we just had up was so helpful because I love seeing pictures to explain it. But I mean, I can tell you truly are the expert here. So what would you say is your best general advice for homeowners who are unsure of where they are with their roofing process? What would you say pretty much anyone can do today to make sure that they're protecting their house?
So really the biggest thing is to start with education. There's lots of online resources where you can get a general idea of what you need to be doing with your roof and ways to identify failures. So there's plenty of signs that you can get peeling, curling, lifting, any of those things that a lot of the times you can see from the ground. And if you're educating yourself and you know how to identify those things, you can get ahead of it before it becomes an issue.
So true. And speaking of education, what's kind of exciting is you guys are going to be coming back and sharing more about just general tips for your house. And it's not just your roof, right? What are some other areas that you're going to be able to help us with?
Yeah, coming out of the wintertime and going into the spring, it's a perfect time for preventative maintenance on your windows, your siding, your gutters, your soffit fascia, kind of anything around the whole home.
And I think you also put it really well too, where sometimes we can feel intimidated because it's almost like you open one thing or you start on one thing and then it just leads to others. And financially it can feel a little scary. But at the same time, being preventative is the best way to make sure that you're avoiding some of these huge expenses later down the line. Is that right?
It is. Home improvement projects are big improvement projects. They're big dollar tickets. And so getting in front of them and knowing what you have to look forward to and budget at, it helps.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you both so much. If someone's interested in learning more, getting some more educational information, where can they go?
So they can always go to our website, gobighorn.com, or they can give us a call anytime they want.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. We appreciate it, and
Thank
some
you,
really good, helpful information.
Yeah.
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.